Hey guys, this video is going to go through setting up a dedicated server using the Snap-in Ready Game Modes Marketplace asset or Unreal Engine 4. This tutorial assumes that you already have an engine version that is built from source because that's required. If you don't have that, then I suggest you follow this guide here. So we're going to go through what's relevant to us. So you'll have to do this first part if you don't already have a source build of Unreal Engine. So here's the Unreal Engine versions I currently have installed, and this is my source one, which I was working with 418. So you'll need to do this. It's pretty simple to set up. You just have to get the source from GitHub, and then run the two bat files here to start it up. And then you open this in Visual Studio and build it. Okay, but assuming you already have that done, get the latest version of the Ready Game Modes asset. So the first thing we're going to need to do is add a C++ class to this project because it's required for a source build. It's not going to ship with it because then it might cause people that just want to use the blueprint only version. So just open it up. And right now this is just a brand new version of the Ready Game Mode asset. There's no changes done on this. Okay, so once you have it open, just go up to File and New C++ Class and choose Empty Class or None. And you can actually call this anything you want. I'm just going to call it SIRGM Dedicated Server. Hit Create Class. Okay, so once that's done, and just for future reference, if you go into the help folder here, all these instructions are actually written out in written out form. So these are the basic instructions here, and then this is the dedicated server section. So this is what we're doing right now. So, okay, so once you have that done, go to the blueprints and then go to core, and then you want to find the game mode. And there's a new variable in here now as of version 006 and later under dedicated server. Okay, so we're going to grab this and just go over here on the right, and you want to make sure that this is true, where it says dedicated server, true, and then set all your settings here. So this particular dedicated server is going to use this map, Retro Ramps. It's going to be a team deathmatch. When the match is ended, it's going to wait 30 seconds, and then it's going to take this action. So the only action that's here right now is reload the lobby and wait for a new match, so that their server is kind of autonomous. After the match ends, everybody disconnects and it becomes a server again for a new match. This is super important. This is the main menu, the menu underscore startup. You can see it up here on the left. If you replace this with something else, like your own menu or whatever, just make sure the name is here, because the dedicated server is set up to automatically recognize that it's a dedicated server, and then it'll change to the lobby after setting a bunch of settings. So just make sure it's the startup map here. Generally, if you've edited this, you probably just edited the same one. But if you renamed it, then make sure the name matches up here. Okay, but the most important part is that that has to be true as well, because if you take that false, none of this stuff matters. It's no longer a dedicated server. And you can actually just close the project at that point. Okay, so once the project is closed, right-click on the project file and just click on Generate Visual Studio Project Files, like that. Okay, and when that finishes, go into the source folder here, a file called sirgm418.target. This file will be whatever your project name is, so just keep that in mind. So just Control-C and then Control-V that, so you have a copy of it. And what we want to do is just delete the part at the end where it says -copy, and then right next to the project name, no space or anything, just type server, just like that. And then right-click on this and just choose Edit. And you actually just want to delete everything that's in here. If you go back into the project, I should have copied it up first. I actually have the list of, I have it in the help folder in that instructions page, all the content that you have to paste in here. However, you can also just get it from the site here. But again, if you don't have the site open and you're just watching this, in the actual project itself, go to the version help where the instructions are. This is all copied. You can just copy and paste it right out. So once you pasted this in here, just make sure the name of your game is here. So that's what I'm going to put here. You want to keep the server part. So just like that, and any other locations where that is. And right here. Okay, once you finish that, just save it and close it. Our main folder here in the root folder, and right-click the project file again, but this time choose Switch Unreal Engine Versions. And the drop-down, you want to choose the source build, not your regular installed build, but the source version. Okay, so just choose that and hit OK, and you're going to see it generate some project files again. And then the file just right here above it, SLN, double-click on that. Okay, so then up here on the left where it says developer, just click on this and make sure this is development editor right here. Okay, and then on the far right, find under games the name of your game. Just right click on that and we're going to choose build. Okay, so this might take a little bit of time, but just let that go. Okay, and once that is done, again up here on the top left, this time we're going to choose development server. And again, same thing over here on the right, right click and choose build. Okay, so once that's finished building, I'm going to go back into our folder here, launch the project now, so we'll open it back up in the editor. So just double click on the new project file. Okay, once this is open, just go File, Package Project for Windows 64. Okay, select the folder to build it. Okay, so once your project's finished building, just minimize that, go back to your project folder here, and over here where it says binaries, just open this folder up and go to Win64. And you're going to see a file in here called your project name server.exe. So just grab that and copy it. Go back out to where you just built your game. So I put it in builds under Windows No Editor, project name, binaries, Win64, and just paste it in here. And then right click on it and create shortcut. Rename the shortcut part, just leave the dash there and call it menu underscore startup. So that's our startup level. And then right click on that and go to properties. And at the very end here, just press a space and then dash log. And that should be it. So what we can do now is double click on the shortcut and we're getting an error. And the reason we're getting that error is because there's a bug in 418, which there's a PhysX bug. You can't see it because it's so quick, but the best way to fix that is to actually go to your engine and copy the PhysX folder from there, this folder here. So it's missing a bunch of stuff. So this is my engine source build here. Just gonna go to third party, find the PhysX folder here, copy it, and just replace it here. And then go back and try running this again. And we can see it starts up. Okay, so it loaded up the lobby. So now it's just sitting there waiting for players to join. And it's going to follow the rest of all the settings that we have in the project for that type of game mode. So I set it to Team Deathmatch, so it's going to follow all of these settings now. So it's just waiting in the lobby for enough players to join. What I'm going to do just to show that it's working here is I'm going to launch 2 clients, which isn't going to work in our game mode. We have dedicated server turned on. So when you build the client, obviously you want to make sure dedicated server is turned off. Like that. Compile, save, and you can definitely do it in the same code as the dedicated server. Just untick that box and you're good to go. So we have 2. Hit play. All right, so we got two clients here. So I didn't set anything to advertise the server or anything like that. Normally, if you have a dedicated server, when you join a game, you'll be put into a server. You'll be automatically matchmaked to your local server, whatever. All that stuff is on you as a developer to develop that however you want. The purpose of the Ready Game Modes is to give you a working dedicated server, and that's what we have already. So to join it, just open. Okay, so that one's joined. And if I open my local IP address, we're both in the game now. And the countdown is going. And we're working. So, dedicated server, and player 2. Just like that. And that's it. So, again, if you have any questions, just find me in the Discord channel. But that's pretty much all there is to it. That gives you a dedicated server, but it is up to you how you connect your clients to it. That's not going to be part of the package here because there's a lot of different ways to do that. You could potentially advertise it, and if it's full, then stop advertising it. But there's also already a built-in setting in RGM that if the server is full, The new client will just be disconnected that tries to join. But generally speaking, it's automatically done. So sometimes you'll have parties built in, and you'll want to join a dedicated server together with your friend or whatever it is. So however you do that is up to you. But this will give you a dedicated server for your particular game and your game mode. All right.